Hello. All right, so right now, I want to tell a story about my mom because it just popped in my head and it made me smile because I remember how happy she was at the time. Now, I don't know if any of you people out there are old enough to remember, but there was a time when the computer was not a household name. It was not a household tool. It was not required for school. Now it's just like they don't want you writing your book reports with your nasty ass handwriting. They want you typing that up, double space, on a nice sheet of paper so that it can easily be legible. None of this is the point of what I'm trying to say. Back when I was 14, my mom and dad, they finally decided, hey, we got enough money together, let's go get a computer. At this point, I was done with grade school. I was just about to be finished with junior high, or just about to be starting junior high. Nah, this was definitely after Mortal Kombat, so this was definitely after 1995. The reason I remember that is because when we went to CompUSA, that's right, CompUSA, to buy our first computer, I saw that they had a audio cassette. That's right, an audio cassette of the motion picture soundtrack to Mortal Kombat. And I had just finished seeing that movie, and I absolutely loved it. And I asked Mom, if I could get that. I think it was like $10 or something. Now they just spent a couple $100s on a computer. I think it was more than that. It was, this is back in the day. So she said, sure, we got it. And we brought the computer home, and she's the first one on it. We're turning it on, and we're all very excited. Even Steven, I was 14 at the time. Steven was like 9, but he was excited because there were games on the computer that were good for the kids. There were games on the computer that was good for like someone like me who's like a teenager, and there was stuff for my mom. And there was a word processor on it, so I could do my book reports and all that stuff. So we were very excited. As time went by, my mom was still a part of PS64. She was part of the PTA there. She was heavily involved in the school, helping out, because at that time she still had my brother who was there. I had graduated from PS64 back in '94. So in '95 I was in junior high, and Steven was still there, and he would still be there for like the next 3 years. So as time would go by, while she's still kind of working. In fact, I think at one point she did have a job in PS64 for like a hot minute, but most of the stuff she did there was volunteer, and really because she enjoyed being a part of the school. She enjoyed being a part of the kids' lives. She just enjoyed helping out, And my mother, she's always loved to feel useful. That's always been very important to her, and I realized that that's something that I've picked up on her, because I find myself using that phrase all the time, particularly at work. Like, I just want to be useful. I just want to be useful. I want to feel like my work means something, So we're all playing with the computer, and of course, while me and Steven are in school, and if she's not doing anything in the school, she's at home and she's messing around with the computer. She's learning stuff, and she learned how to create templates for, like awards and stuff, and create your own little, award on a piece of paper. And at that time, she suddenly had this idea, just popped in her head, or maybe it was something she was stewing over for a while, and she said, we have a lot of parents that are always doing things for the school, doing things for the kids, really volunteering their time to help out. I think it'd be nice if they'd be recognized. So my mother suggested to the school that they have an awards ceremony, because the school would sometimes host like a lunch or a dinner, for all the parents that help out, to say thank you. But my mother had the added idea of making it not just a luncheon or a dinner, but also making it an awards night, an awards day, where each parent could be given an award for their contributions to the school, to the class, to the community. And she was so excited about this idea. Like, she thought it was the best idea ever. And the truth is, when she told me, I thought, yeah, absolutely, this is awesome. This sounds great. And she went hard at work, started designing all these different types of awards, trying to find out which one works perfectly or works best for her. And then they discussed it with the other parents. They decided who's gonna get what award, for best help at a bake sale, for most money raised. I don't know what the awards were for, exactly. But I do know that when my mom was done making the awards, she was so proud of them. She was so proud of the work that she had did. She was just so happy with how everything turned out. And the best part about it is that when she got all the awards together, they got ready for the luncheon, she brings the awards to school, everybody shows up, they go into the auditorium, and they start making the announcement on the podium saying, thank you, parents, for all the hard work you do for our kids, for our community. You guys deserve way more than what we can give you. As a token of our appreciation, we would like to invite you to dinner, blah, 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 but we also want to present you with these following awards. And they proceeded to give out awards. And one by one, each mom will come up on the stage, and they'll be clapping, and the mom will be smiling, and they give them the award, and people shake their hands, and it was a very nice thing. And then afterwards, because I don't think everybody knew that my mom had been the one that made all those awards. They just knew that the awards were given to them by the school. And a lot of the parents began expressing their appreciation. And they were talking about how wonderful it is, and how good they looked, and how professional. Like, wow, these look like real legitimate awards, And people were really, really happy, because I remember thinking when I was growing up as a kid, I remember thinking, like, whenever there was an awards night in school and a kid got a paper, but then another kid got like a plaque, for some major achievement. Like, I got a piece of paper for not being absent for a whole month, and this kid got a plaque for being like, the smartest math student in the state, And we kids, we just sort of passed off these paper awards as nothing, But to the parents that volunteer their time and energy for no money and no gratitude, they really appreciated every single one of those awards. And they appreciated my mom for putting in all that extra hard work just to make those awards. They thanked my mom for making the suggestion, and basically my mom put her money where her mouth was. She said we should do this, and she made it happen. And I thought that was so cool. And I don't know what made me think of it now at this moment, but I just thought about it, and it made me smile, made me feel good. I've always been proud of my mother. Anyway, I gotta go. I am late for work. God bless you. I love you all. And take care. That's it. I gotta go. Bye.